So when you're told that if you're not going to be wealthy, you're going to be lost. Yeah, it's not just
Yeah.
poverty. They make you fear not being rich, not just being poor.
Yeah.
And
No.
then by that, they make you do insane things to get rich in what? In their system, which they've created, which is a farce, the so called financial system, which is an absolute satanic construct. Nothing in that has any business of being accepted as wealth, yeah, as actually being wealthy. I mean, it is the most poor system ever, not ever, but invented,
Yeah.
ever by man, always the same in every
Yes.
generation.
Yeah.
So that is what they make you fear. So then they make you do those things that get you that fake wealth, so that you can do the things that you think you can because you have that wealth.
Exactly.
Fundamentally, correct? That's all we've been taught. And so then they make you learn those insane things. They make you fear not knowing that, being learning on the computer, making chips, yeah, making cars, making all this nonsense, right? They make you fear that. If you can't do that, then you're lost. If you can't get education, higher education, and super high education, then you're a retard. College dropout, high
Yeah.
school dropout,
Yeah.
got fired from a corporation. Yeah,
Yeah.
corporation, it comes from corp. It's like a corpse.
Yeah.
Corporation are like corpse, they're dead entities. They are dead entities, and you are the one who's giving them life. And they don't have any life.
Exactly.
So all this is the nonsense that make you fear. So now we come to the fact that there is fear, right? There's no way there's no fear, obviously. So come to the idiots and the retards that say that the only fear is fear itself, right? So what
Yeah.
is that? If I tell you that, what would you think?
I would think that, oh my God, I should never fear anything. Like, right?
Yeah, but then
But
you're
it's
fearing
making
that,
you
right?
exactly, exactly,
Ah,
exactly. That's what I was
so
going to say to
the
you.
only fear
Yeah,
you only fear is fear itself. So
exactly.
you're telling me the only fear is fear, and that I should fear fearing. So I'm already
I'm not
fearing.
fearing.
This is
Exactly.
nonsense. This is nonsense. So now let's look at the other one I told you about, these idiots who say, I don't, it's all about fear. They get you to do things through fear, what they
Yeah,
don't want to do, right? In their
yeah.
minds. Or they say that you shouldn't be doing. Yeah. So this is the problem. There should be no fear. So now I come to what I was saying at the beginning, that when you say there should be no fear and no one should fear, you are becoming God yourself.
Exactly.
There's no entity other than God that does not fear. The only entity that has no fear is obviously the Creator, because He has control over everything and nothing can harm Him. There's no other entity under Him that can be in that position, although they pretend around the earth. If you look at the earth, do you
Yeah,
see
they
the
do.
people who pretend
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're gods?
Yes, absolutely,
Um,
absolutely. I mean, how many do we want? You want me to name?
the only entity does not have any fear is God. I mean, He created everything. When you create things, you control them, right? In
Yes,
general. And
yes,
when you create something, you don't create it for it to overcome you in
that's
in a
correct.
norm logical thinking. But these idiots are not logical. They're
Yeah,
creating things that are going to destroy them. And then they ask you the question, can God create a rock that He cannot lift? Insane. I mean, that's just an insane question, right? I mean, if God is all there is, then how can He create something that He cannot pick up? It's everything is inside of Him. So
yeah.
this is the nonsense they don't understand. Yeah. So this is fear. So what should we fear? The only thing you're supposed to fear is God, nothing else. Oh, so I don't fear. So when you tell me to fear the hereafter, I should not listen to you, because then I'll be fearing you. So this is the rhetorical or circular argument that they get lost in. What does it mean to fear God for you? If I asked you,
Um, fear God means that I have reverence for Him. I should listen to what He says and please Him, not disobey Him. Listen to what the truth He's telling me. Am I going on
yeah,
the
but
right
then
path?
who is telling you that truth?
God, through
How?
His messengers.
So there's your problem. You see, you have to fear disobeying God,
And His
disobeying
messengers.
His commands, disobeying his messengers,
That's correct.
disobeying his books. Yeah. And you have to learn what's right and wrong. You need to fear doing wrong. You have
Yes,
to fear being unrighteous. Yeah. You have to fear displeasing God. You don't have to fear displeasing the messengers. You have to fear displeasing God. But if you mock the messengers, you are displeasing God. If
yes,
you mock God, you're displeasing God. You will continue doing it thinking that nothing's happening to you. And that's the way of God. He will not question you. He will let you do that. He will let you kill his messengers. He will let you mock him. He will let you mock his prophets. He will let you mock the hereafter. He will let you reject. He will let you do everything, make yourself God and Lord. And that one day when you die, or that one day when the punishment comes and you can't get off of your butt, yeah, then you will ask, why did this happen to me? And you don't realize that you've been making your bed for decades, or
yes.
for years, or for days, or for even minutes. You don't even remember what you did 10 minutes ago that caused what happened 10 minutes later, let alone 10 years, or 20 years, or 40 years later, what happens. Correct? So, this
That's
is what you need
correct.
to fear, to be on the wrong path. And
Yeah,
the right path is in the Quran, obviously, without a doubt. And they will hate it. They all hate it. I mean, you hated it. I was oblivious to it. So I hated it as well. And no one wants to open it because it's telling us what we are. And we fear finding out what we are, a bunch of idiots, unrighteous, ignorant, oblivious beings that don't want to know that we have to right ourselves. Yeah. And unless you fear that you are wrong, how will you right yourself? That's a
exactly.
fear. Acceptance or fear. Again, both emotions, right? In
Mhm.
this sense, we're talking about fear. So, unless you fear you're wrong, how will you try and right yourself? And this is the
Exactly.
state of all of humanity in general today. They
Yeah.
don't fear that they're wrong because they don't think there's anything to worry about and everything is relative. Nothing to fear about. There's no right and wrong.
So what about the other fears that we have? Is it wrong to fear those things other than God and what He asks us to fear? Like obviously, like a wall falling on you, of course,
So these are
that's
all things that are trials to us, right? I mean, God is going
Mhm.
to make us fear. He said you're going to fear shortage of food and fruit and wealth and soul. It makes you fear. When your eyes don't work properly, you're in fear, right? But
That's
you have to
correct.
step back and say, why is it happening? And you have to step back and understand it's all made to be destroyed. This whole life is created to be destroyed. So if you're losing something or the wall is falling on you in this world, you have to accept it if you can't run away from it.
That's
So you
correct.
have to accept the fears that are in front of you when they come to you. And that's fearing God, actually. When you accept it, you can't run away from Him. I mean, the lions are coming at you at 60, 40 miles an hour, whatever they can run, yeah, or the tiger or the cheetah, and they're like 15 of them, and you're on your feet. I don't think there's a point running now unless you have a tree to climb, yeah, or a balloon to get into and go into the sky, or a helicopter, or a plane, or a car. If you have nothing to run up and away, or in a machine and get away, or another horse or whatever, I mean, what are you going to run? Probably, but you know you're not going to get far. So these fears are rational and irrational. You have to have understanding of what is a rational fear and what's irrational. Irrational is when you're trying to fight something you know you're not going to win. That's irrational, and that's what everybody's trying to fight: death. That's the most irrational fear
Yeah,
that I can
exactly.
see.